Alright guys, so say you got to replace a fender on a car. No problem. We're working with everybody's favorite CertaFit panel. Now you can get these at a lot of different places around. Just kind of do your research. What these are is aftermarket replacement panels for, say you wreck your fender and you don't want to go to the dealership and spend $500 to $1,000 on a factory fender. Cheap Chinese, Taiwanese companies make fenders like this all the time. They stamp them out. Tony Yang brand, a bunch of other different ones, but for lack of better terms, everybody calls this a CertaFit panel, and you can pick them up for a fraction of the cost of an OEM panel. So just do your research. Places like APO with LKQ, places like that have them. Anyways, these panels come factory primed with a black primer. So as far as right out of the box, you can just go ahead and pretty much scuff and spray them. They're ready to go. For test purposes today, normally what I would do with these is I would wet sand it with 400 grit to 600 grit and prime it whatever color is specific. So if it's a lighter color, then I would probably spray it a lighter color primer. If it's a darker color, depending on the color, I might still spray it a lighter primer, but you can spray it different color primers to get different results. If you want to, consult your local auto body place and see what they would think would be best if you want to. But for test demonstration purposes today, guys, I've scuffed this up with green Scotch-Brite. That's equal to 400 to 600 grit. We're going to prime this up real quick. I'm going to wipe it down with some of this Prep-All. You can use alcohol, you can use acetone, whatever you decide to use, whether wax and grease removers of any kind. Just get the panel clean. I'm going to prime it so you get a real good demonstration of how to prep and paint a panel, and we'll show you what the Spraymax stuff can do. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so we are focusing on the Spraymax system today, but I don't have any Spraymax primer. You can get a variety of Spraymax primers, epoxy primers, fillers, all different kinds of primers. I'm just going to use a generic primer today only because that's what I got. I'm using this Transtar 4603. It works great. It's all the same as far as it goes. I'm going to lay this on. We're going to let it flash off. We're going to sand everything down and get ready for some base coat. Alright guys, so today we're using the Spraymax system. We got our panel primed up, wet sanded with 400. Everything's looking good and ready to go. So guess what we're going to do? We have a base clear job. Now, this is great for, say, you wrecked your fender, obviously, and you need to color match it. And you went to the body shop. They said it's going to be $500 to $1,000. I don't want to pay that. Well, what you do is you take your old fender or your gas cap or some kind of panel up to the paint store. You let them scan it. They have a gun where they can scan it 3 times and it'll give them a paint code, and they can mix a pint of paint and they can blend it and everything out to the test panel so they can match the panel perfectly. Then they take that pint of paint and they convert it into an aerosol can, guys. And then you have a base coat, clear coat system if you want, or you can get the base coat mix in a single stage. For test purposes today, this is a Ford J4 Deep Impact Blue. We're going to be testing on this. And this is base coat, so I'm going to run this today as a base coat clear instead of just a single stage, so you guys get the full effect of the finish you're going to get out of these Spraymaxes. Now, obviously, I don't have a Ford here that I'm putting the fender on or anything. This is just for test purposes, just so you guys can gauge the quality of everything. But like I said, they custom mix the paint. It'll be to your paint coat in the can. As you can see, there's blue on it. So they match it up really good, and you just spray it on the way you would do any other spray paint job, guys, and gloss it out, and hey, save yourself a couple $100. But I'm gonna go ahead and apply the base coat first and let you guys see what it looks like. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so for your first coat, you really just want to dust it on. You're not trying to go for full coverage or nothing like that. You just want to dust it on so that everything can have properly adhese, and you can kind of look to make sure you're not going to have any reactions or issues. So after spraying it like that, you just want to do a light coat at first, and then you gradually build your coats up until you get full coverage with base coat. You're not worrying about glossing it out or anything like that. You would only do that if you were running a single stage. But we're not running a single stage, we're doing base coat, so basically you're just going for coverage. And then when we get to clear, that's when you actually try and gloss it out. So, like I said, just keep doing mid to light coats of base, however you feel comfortable. Just don't run it. Get full coverage consistently on the panel. This is a metallic, so you want to just kind of spray it. You don't want to fog it real hard in one place. You just want to kind of smooth it out to get a good, clean, smooth finish. And after a couple coats, 3 or 4, we'll be ready to apply our clear coat. So I'm going to keep doing base coats. Once we get full coverage, we'll step it up to clear. Alright guys, so this is after 2 coats. It's starting to get there, but I'm going to step it up and do medium to higher coat coverages. That way I can go ahead and finish it up and we can get to clear. So let's go ahead and knock it out. Alright guys, so after 5 really good coats, this is what we're left with. Now keep in mind, like I said, this is base coat, and it is still drying. Takes a lot to cover with blue a lot of times, guys. Blue can be a tricky color to spray, but I think we got it. It's a really pretty color. It's really close to Ford's flagship blue color, but we'll let this dry off all the way, and then we'll be ready to spray some clear coat. Alright guys, so now it's everybody's favorite part of the paint job, the clear coat. Today we're using 2K Clear Glamour. If you decide to go with the Spraymax system, there are many different clears you can use. Some clears they don't have hardeners. It's just a 1K clear that dries out and you're good to go. If you decide to opt for the Spraymax system with the hardener built in, you can get matte clear, you can get satin clear, and you can get Clear Glamour gloss clear. You can even get speed clear that dries really quick. And all this stuff is with 2K. So it has UV protection. It's an actual hardener in the clear, so you can wax it, buff it, do everything you can do with the regular automotive clear. So when you're ready to spray your clear finally, what you want to do is take this little red top that was on top, you take it off, you put it on the bottom of the can where your hardener is, you smack it, make sure that button floats freely. That lets you know it's released all the hardener in. Put the little cap back, shake it up real good, and for about 5 or 10 minutes, and you're ready to go, guys. So we're gonna fog our first coat of clear on and then kind of build it up gradually, and you'll see the transformation firsthand. Let's get into it. You guys might have noticed that I tend to walk the perimeter first, go up under all the hard to reach spots just to make sure I get them, because you have a tendency, if you just go straight for the panel, to forget the edges, and then you have dry spray and you have spots you forgot. Once you're all said and done, ain't nothing worse than going back to a perfectly good paint job and looking up under it and being like, crap, I got that spot light. So just take your time. Do it however you want to do it. There's a process to it, however you feel comfortable, and follow your method, guys. And let's keep spraying. Coat 2. Alright guys, 3 coats of clear later, this is what we got. Now, you might notice there's a little bit of orange peel in it, but don't let that discourage you. It's pretty typical of this type of stuff, especially when you're using spray paint. You're not going to get as fine of a mist as you would out of a gun. So just kind of keep that in mind. The cool thing is this is 2K clear, so you can always go back, wet sand it, wax it, buff it, and I promise you it will look like glass. You won't have any orange peel in it, and it will do everything that all the other 2K clears will do. You can buff it, you can refinish it, you can flow coat it, anything you want to do, guys. But this is the results you can expect. Personally, for me, this turned out beautiful, and especially when you're thinking about saving $500 to $1,000 doing it yourself, you just take a little bit of time, a couple hours, a little bit of prep, and you too can get a finish just like this, maybe even better, guys. Just depends on the temperature, conditions, and just take your time with it, guys. And hey, results speak for itself. Alright guys, so that concludes our in-depth presentation of the Spraymax system. This is the last video in the series of videos. I've done a rundown, told you everything Spraymax had to offer in one video. In the next video I did a headlight restoration, and in this video we sprayed a whole panel to color match so you can save money and not spend thousands at the body shop. And like I said, this is 2K clear. It's going to be UV resistant. You can buff it, you can wax it, you can do whatever you want to do once it hardens. And hey, it's something you can do at the house in the comfort of your own home, in your shop, or whatever else, and pay a fraction of the cost, like I said. But it's great for DIY. You do it for less than $100 and you're ready to go, guys. So I hope you found this video informational. I hope you found it entertaining. If you have any comments, questions, concerns about what I've done today, drop me a comment down at the bottom. If you made it this far, please hit that subscribe button, guys. It helps me out tremendously. A like, it takes 2 seconds, And we have great merchandise on bonfire.com. Links in the description. Just click merch. Got hats, shirts, anything you guys want. And I appreciate you guys watching, man. This was really fun today. And it's a beautiful color, man. But like, share, comment, subscribe, guys. It's YouTube. I appreciate you guys watching. Have a great one. God bless. And I'll see you on the next one.